All right, guys, we're installing a set of ITP T7 beadlocks onto BajaCross tires today for our race razor. Pretty simple process. We've already installed the valve stem into the tire. It's going to be the first step after you remove the rings. Then after that, we're going to take some soapy water, run around the outside of the beads, just kind of lube it up, make everything easier. And there's no real reason to have a tire machine when you're installing beadlocks. You can do it all yourself without any special tools. All right, now that we got soapy water around the beads on the tires, we're going to go ahead and install the rims into them. When you're doing it, make sure you watch what direction the traction is on the tire. These are labeled. This tire is going to be the front right tire on this razor. So we're going to install the rim. You just slide it down into the tire. All right, so we got the back in place, and we're going to kind of shift it a little bit and pull the bead up underneath it. All right, now that we have the rim in place, we're going to install the plates on the beadlocks. Just going to pretty much lay it on top of it, line it up with the bolt pattern, and start all the bolts. Make sure you start them by hand. Don't use an impact gun. There's a real good chance you can cross thread them and pretty much destroy your rims. All right, now that we have all the bolts started by hand, we're going to take a torque wrench, torque them down to about 4 to 5 foot-pounds, going in a star pattern all the way around. All right, after you've gone around and torqued everything down to 4 to 5 foot-pounds, then we're going to go to 10 to 12, again go in a star pattern and work your way around. All right, after you're done with the back, flip it over. And we're going to start the front. It's the exact same process. You want to make sure everything's centered up and you're install the plate. Line it up, make sure the rim is centered first, but then lined up, start your bolts, and remember to do them by hand. Then torque them down to 4 to 5 foot-pounds of torque. Work your way around in star pattern. After that, you're going to do 10 to 12 pounds, and then you're good to go. Fill up your tire. Now that the tire is installed onto the rim, next thing we need to do is put some air in it and install it. All right, after you got the tire mounted up on the hub, you're going to go ahead and install your new lug nuts. Make sure you use the new lug nuts that come with your rims. The stock lug nuts don't fit. It's just not going to work due to the design of the rim. So go ahead and use the new lug nuts, torque them down to the factory spec, and you're good to go. We chose this BajaCross tire and the ITP Beadlock rims for a few reasons. Beadlock, they're awesome for off-road racing or just off-road driving in general. If you get it flat, you can still limp it out, and not really have to worry about it for quite a while. Just because of the beadlock design, it keeps the bead locked to the rim. It's not going to fall off as you're driving. You might destroy the tire. That's entirely possible, but you can normally get out, get back to the pits, get your spare tire installed. So that's really nice. It also allows you to run really low air pressure for rock crawling type situations. They're an 8-ply tire. It's going to be awesome for off-road racing. You're just not very likely to get a puncture. It still can happen, but with a solid 8-ply tire like this, it's a whole lot less likely. The tread pattern's really nice. It's really aggressive, so we get really good traction in all sorts of different terrain, whether we're rock crawling, trail running, or, for this one, we're going to be doing hare scramble races. It's just a good all-around tread pattern, so it should work really well for us. They're also, aluminum rims, so they're not a real heavy tire. There's still some weight to it for sure, but these are 26s, so they're not, extremely heavy. It gives us all the ground clearance we need for what we're going to do, and it's going to work really well for us.